Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, and it is Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison. So, yeah, the last few weeks, I know I haven't been live, and that's because I haven't been feeling well. I ended up with a chest cold. I ended up losing my voice. So, of course, with having no voice, I wasn't able to speak. But, of course, we are back this evening with myself and Allison. So, I'm just waiting for Allison to start watching so I can bring her on. But while I'm waiting for Allison, I'll go ahead and do my introduction. I am Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur. I am the author of the Goddess Grind book series, which focuses on you becoming the best version of you in order to manifest success personally as well as professionally. Soul Sunday is a venture that Allison and I started back in November of last year, and every Sunday we pretty much have been going live and talking about different topics of interest, which you can actually check the past episodes on my YouTube channel if you're interested in watching those. I will link that below once we're done. But in addition to just doing it once a week, Allison and I also decided to start doing it on Tuesdays. So on Tuesdays we have Soul Sunday Reloaded, and we have Soul Sunday on Sunday. So right now I'm still waiting for Allison to come on. But while I'm waiting for Allison, today or this evening, Allison and I will be discussing accountability and healing. There she is. I'm glad she's here because I don't want to do too much talking because I know y'all already hear it. Allison, I'm sending you your invite now. You might have to send me a request because it's not giving me the option. Allison, you know, Facebook be on some other stuff. Yeah, send me a, can I add you? Girl, Facebook tripping. Wait, let me see if it comes up this way. There it is. Okay, Allison, I just sent you your invite. So hopefully you get it. But while I'm waiting for Allison to receive her invite, like I said, the topic that we have for this evening is accountability and healing. And that's what Allison and I will be discussing. Of course, I'm going to talk as much as I possibly can. But Allison will probably be doing more talking than I will. Simply because my voice isn't back 100%, but I definitely wanted to get back to my weekly videos, and so I'm here. So if I'm looking a bit tired, I am, because I have not been feeling well for the last couple of weeks. And yeah, I had a lot happen the last couple of weeks. I'm not one to get sick or anything like that. So the last time I was sick, I know it's been at least 3, 4, maybe 5 years since I've been sick. So this time when it came around, I guess it was just time for me to be sick. So yeah, okay, Allison, Facebook, don't be tripping. Yes, add Allison, I see it. Y'all, Facebook tripping. But that's all right. Allison and I have worked through this before. Allison, for some reason, is saying that I can't get no answer from you. That's a lie. So I'm going to keep sending it until it goes through. Approve. Add. Y'all, my apologies. Occasionally, Allison and I have issues with Facebook and trying to get her on live because Facebook don't want to act right. This is ridiculous. But it's not my platform, so we're just going to work with what we got. And we're going to keep trying until she comes on. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Who send me notifications? I swear, people. But oh well. Allison, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Allison, I have no idea what's going on. It says invited. And I see where you submitted the request to join the broadcast, but it's not. Oh, there it goes. See, I told y'all Facebook be tripping. But Allison and I, we just keep trying until it go through. Now that I've given a little input about myself, once Allison is connected, I'm going to go ahead and let her. Hey, sis, how you doing? Come on now,
Good.
Facebook.
I want you to stop talking.
I mean, I just want people sitting looking at me because I wasn't saying anything. No, okay, we got this. Thank you. Thank you very much. So,
No.
Allison, I already did my introduction, so you can go ahead and do yours.
Peace and blessings, everybody. I am Miss Allison Denise, relationship coach and voice of the abused, misused, mistreated, betrayed, and broken. Welcome to Soul Sunday Reloaded. We thank you guys who kept asking about where we were. We do appreciate it. As you can see, my sister is still recuperating, but I'm so glad to see her beautiful face. And we have another thing that we share in common. I do not get sick, but when I do, it's like it wants to make up for lost time. So I understand. I do. It's like, oh, well, we haven't
Girl.
seen you in 4 5 years, Allison. Let's hang out. Let's what's up? I'm like, what's up is I need you to leave because I got stuff to do. So I understand, and I will do my absolute best to talk as much as you want me to, so you still have a voice left.
Well, I appreciate it, but girl, it was not cute. Now, I will say it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was enough. And I was just like, because at first, I felt a little
Mm-hmm.
tingling in my throat, and I was like,
Yes.
that ain't nothing. Let me just go, take some real quick to knock it out.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Girl, it just got worse, and then I lost my
Mm-hmm.
voice. Then after I lost my voice, I had all kind of congestion, and
Uh,
then I got a little bit, and I don't know how it was a little bit of pink eye. I'm glad it was just a little bit, but I'm like, I ain't been around nobody because I don't go nowhere really. But anyway, I'm here, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Like I said, we will be discussing accountability and healing. The reason that I wanted to talk about this topic, so if you watched the video previous to this and we said we was gonna talk about something else, we changed our mind.
we did.
So y'all
Yes.
be like, well, y'all said, well, I said I changed my mind and
Yeah.
we gonna talk about something else.
We are
But the reason I wanted to discuss this particular topic, right? But the reason I wanted to discuss this particular topic is because since the beginning of this month, accountability has just been stuck in my mind and stuck in my head and just stuck everywhere. And so I was like, well, maybe that'll be the focus for this month, accountability. And then, I'm always about healing and just making sure you get the most out of your healing journey. I know everybody's healing journey does not look the same. It ain't no cookie cutter when it comes to it. What works for me does not work for Allison. Even though we may do some of the same things, trust me, we do not do them the same way. But that's pretty much why I wanted to discuss this particular topic. So I'm going to give my voice a little rest and let Allison chime in with her thoughts on this topic.
Well, we talk a lot about things being two sides of the same coin. If it be behavior issues, personality disorders, whatever, we talk about things being two sides of the same coin. And it's my opinion that accountability and healing are on the same side of one, or on different sides of one coin, because I have never met someone who was able to do one without the other. I've never met anyone who was able
Mhm.
to own the things that they've done wrong and not get better. I've likewise never seen someone who can get better without owning some of the things that they participated in that they shouldn't have. So I'm really excited about this topic because even though we talk from the standpoint of entrepreneurship when we're here on the platform with my sister Ruby, you guys who are coming over from my platform of relationships know that these two, whatever we discuss today is going to be able to work on both sides. You've got to learn how to be accountable, not blame, not victim shame, but be accountable. And so that's why I'm excited about this topic today.
Yes. And give me just a moment. I'm pulling up on my computer the definition of accountability for those that want the definition that they have on Google, because that's what I'm going to use. I do not have a dictionary right here. I use Google. But pretty much with accountability, it has everything to do with you and nothing to do with anybody else. So, let me get that out the way first. It ain't gonna be no, well, this person, that person, this situation, that ideology, and all this extra kind of stuff. With it's all you, boo, all you. But accountability. Well, accountable definition. We'll go with the accountable definition because accountability is just another variation of accountable. But the definition of accountable is um, of a person, organization, or institution required or expected to justify actions or decisions and being responsible. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much when you are being held accountable, you are fully responsible for whatever act, whatever thoughts, whatever behaviors, whatever emotions you decide to have. Pretty much anything that I do, I make sure that I'm comfortable doing it. I make sure that I'm not acting because somebody told me I should do it. I'm not reacting because someone told me I should do it. I'm not doing anything based on I'm doing nothing based on what somebody else said, thought, suggested, or anything like that. So, whatever I decide to do, whatever comes as a result of that, then that's fully my responsibility. Now, I'm not saying that I have full control over everything that happens to my life because I can't control anything that's outside of me. And because I can't control everything outside of that is outside of me, then I can't dictate what happens to me or anything like that. Like I tell people all the time, with your healing journey, it's not about getting to a point where you just don't experience things and you don't have to worry about things happening, because ultimately life is still going to happen. Healing is basically a journey it never ends, and it's never going to end. As long as you're living, you're going to have to do some healing. It's levels to healing. Trust me, it is. Allison, I'm going to take a break and let you chime in real quick.
So yeah, when just like Ruby, mentioned about uh, life happening, there always being a need for healing and how there's different levels. I want you guys to think about healing from the sense of, let's just say you run. Let's say you run 3 miles a day. Now, even though you're really great at running 3 miles a day, we also know that as of yet, no one can run 100 miles a day, not at least not at one time. And so, if you've done some strenuous activity, there's always a point where you need to rest. You need to get back and rest. And the point of resting is getting back to ground zero so that you're able to go ahead and perform
Mm-hmm.
at the same rate or better the next time around. Healing is like that. You get hit once, you have one experience or obstacle. You have to look at healing as you getting yourself back to the emotional ground zero. And the reason you want to be at emotional ground zero is because you are going to need your strength and more when life knocks you or tries to knock you down again. But if you're not taking the time to go ahead and heal,
Mm-hmm.
then the next obstacle that hits you meets you at you being 50% of your strength or 25% of your strength. And so that's how these hurts keep monopolizing your heart, your ability to move forward, because you're not allowing the healing to take place from one circumstance to the next. You're going in half ready or a quarter ready or a tenth ready. And but when life
Hmm.
hits you, it's going to keep hitting you at 100%. So if you don't meet life at 100%, you are going to keep getting beat down. And so that's how I want you to think about it. That is what the purpose of healing is. As long as I'm alive, life is going to happen. Let me retreat, get back to zero, so that I have 100% of my strength when the next situation occurs. So that was the best analogy I could give.
Right, and she is absolutely correct. And even within that explanation, you are responsible, you are accountable for when certain strategies don't work. You need to go back and revisit what it is that you're doing until
Mhm.
you find something effective.
Yes,
Nobody said that you have to meditate and you can only meditate for the rest of your life. If meditation is not working for you, then you need to say to yourself, this is not working, I need to try something
that's
else.
right.
If the drinking is not working, don't drink more.
Right. That's not the answer.
Right. If something is not
Yes,
working, trust me, more of it is definitely not gonna work.
not.
So you might want to try something completely different.
Absolutely.
And that is completely your responsibility to
Yes.
say, even let's say if you see a therapist, if you don't see a therapist, if they tell you, oh, just keep doing the meditation, oh, just keep doing the meditation, you know whether or not the meditation is
Yes,
working.
you do.
And if you tell them, well, it's not working, and they keep suggesting it like it's going to magically work one day, you might need to revisit who you're talking to.
Absolutely.
But I will say this, don't be afraid to try something different.
Right.
Just because it doesn't fit inside of your box
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean it's not meant for you.
Right.
Sometimes your box is not even meant for you, and that's why you still having problems in it because you refuse to step outside of it.
Yes.
Like I all the time, the only boxes are for moving, packing up stuff and moving it from one place to
That's
another.
right.
So it is your responsibility. If the healing activity that you're doing is not working, by all means, try something else.
Something else.
Experiment.
Yes.
Me personally, I have a variety of different, healing activities that I do, from meditation to grounding to karaoke to dance to color therapy to makeup therapy to doing my hair to sleeping. Let me see. I know I'm missing something, but everything I go from one to another, and I'm always switching it up.
Mm-hmm.
And you can think about it in terms of, sometimes if you keep using, like for instance, I'm an esthetician with skincare. With all of my clients, I tell them, they say, well, in what order should my skincare regimen be? It's normally you have to wash and then exfoliate and then
Yes.
tone and then moisturize.
Yes.
Sometimes you need to switch that up because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it becomes
That's
ineffective.
right.
So sometimes you can still do the same steps, but just do them in a different order.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it is with your healing activities.
Mm-hmm.
You may do the same three healing activities, but switch them up.
Yeah.
I mean, combine some of them. You can meditate and listen to music at the same time.
Right.
You can meditate and dance at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, whatever you feel is most effective for you. Don't always stick to doing the same thing all the time.
Right.
Because if you keep doing the same thing and it's not working, guess who fault that is? That's all you. You can't blame nobody else. That's all you. Allison.
Ruby is 100% right. Shout out to everybody who is tuning in. I see Joseph just tuned in. What's up, Joseph? What's up, Timothy? What's up, Thomas? Tate, you're late. I've been telling you for 2 weeks that Ruby was sick, but we'll talk about that later. What's up, Ruby?
Right.
Okay, so Ruby is absolutely right. So let's talk about what it is that you're doing to heal. And so exactly what she was talking about in terms of you have to reevaluate. if you're not feeling better, it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It means that you have not quite figured out what is going to help you. And one of the ways to know that is if you just
Mm-hmm.
keep trying that other people keep telling you to try. If people tell you, let's say they tell you to go out near water, but you're petrified of it, how can you possibly relax enough to even begin the healing process if you're always worried about if you might drown or if you might see a shark? That's going to be ineffective for you. I'm someone who used to, and I will most likely do it again. One of my dreams is to, now that I'm finally meditating on a regular basis, I do want to meditate near water. I can't wait to do that because I'm a water baby. Having said that,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I did notice was when I meditated outside, it wasn't as effective. When I started to meditate in one spot in my room with candles going and all of those other things, it allowed me to relax because I also like fire. I'm an Aries, that's just what I am. So I had the fire sign. And then, as Ruby mentioned, I also started to realize that meditation became super effective when I started doing it in the nude. Now, I don't say that to turn folk on, it's nothing about that. That's not the point, so stay out my inbox. The reason I'm bringing this up is because for me, it allows me to come before the universe completely uninhibited. I'm not worried about how I look. I'm not worried about how I'm dressed. I'm not worried about my bra being too tight or my underwear riding up. I'm not worried about any of that. I can just focus on the fire, the music, and being one with the universe. And so that's an example of one of the things that I have learned helps me. Now, when I meditated
Mm-hmm.
outside, was it bad? No, but I didn't walk away feeling as calm, as peaceful, and as focused as I do when I do meditation the way that I do now. And so you have to see what works for you. And the baseline of whether it works for you is what I just mentioned. Do you feel peace? I'm not saying more peaceful because you can still feel and still be stressed. Do you feel completely at peace when you finish doing what you're doing? If you're saying, okay, yeah, I smoke weed every night and I feel just fine. Yeah, but how do you feel when that's over? Well, yeah, I get drunk or
Mm-hmm.
I sleep around and I feel fine. Yeah, but when you're not doing that activity, does your stress come right back? These are the questions that you need to
Mm-hmm.
ask yourself. And more than likely, that is what's happening. So that is not as effective as you think it is. If you want healing, you've got to figure out how to get to a place of peace. If you just want to be distracted temporarily, by all means, keep doing what you're doing and it will continue to be effective. But Ruby and I are of the same mindset that we want peace and we want to show people how to have peace, and that is going to involve you participating in your own healing process by finding out what will work for you versus what won't. So that's what I want.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Allison. I appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in to Soul Sunday Reloaded. On this Tuesday evening, Allison and I are talking about accountability and healing. So if I sound funny, my voice isn't back 100%. Like right now, I just want to cough all everywhere, but I'm trying to hold it in. But with us talking about accountability and healing,
Mm-hmm.
we have to crap. I lost my thought. I know it'll come back.
Okay.
But with the accountability and healing, we have to realize that it's on us to stay consistent as well.
Yes.
You can't say you want to meditate. I'm gonna start meditating and then you do it one time and expect to see drastic results or drastic improvement or anything like that. That's not gonna help, and that's not how this works.
Mm-mm.
That is not how this works. With your healing, whatever it is you're doing, you have to be consistent. Trust me, I have been going to karaoke well, I know at least every Wednesday for the past year and more than a half. And I absolutely love karaoke. I mean, I ain't trying to be no singer or nothing like that, but that I just enjoy singing. And I just like last night, And he just be throwing songs, shout out to Bobby French, DJ guy over at Big Lowe's on Mondays and Wednesdays. But I absolutely enjoy the karaoke experience at that particular place because he makes it exciting. He doesn't make you feel uncomfortable or anything like that. And that's why I've been going back. But I absolutely love it. And I always look forward to going
Mhm.
because that's like my happy place. When I'm singing and I sing songs that I like, I'm very much a music person. And that's always, I don't want to say it's my fix,
Yeah.
but I have noticed over time how it has helped a lot on, my personal healing journey.
Hmm.
And if I don't go, yeah, sometimes I'll be disappointed. Like, oh, who said you could go on vacation, sir? Who said you can go on
Help.
vacation? But I have a fix for that too. I have my own little karaoke machine at the house with my own mic. And if I want to go in the garage and sing, I can go in the garage and sing.
Okay.
I will clean up my room and sing at the same time. I will ride in the car and sing, but singing is, therapy for me. And I stay consistent at it. And I know as long as I'm singing, I feel good.
Hmm.
Eating, eating is therapy. I'm not an overeater. I don't eat too much.
Hmm.
But act of eating and knowing that I'm feeding my body things that I need and strengthening my immune system and making my body to where it's able to fight those things
Yeah.
that disease and all of that. That's why I'm able to stay healthy, at least for 5 years straight before I get sick and something happens. But even then, if I get a little touch of something over that time,
Hmm.
I literally can feel my body attacking whatever it
Yeah.
is. And that's just because I'm so connected to who I am and, you know, I'm so dedicated and consistent with my healing journey. I can almost instantaneously feel when something isn't right.
Yep.
And trust me, it's nobody else's responsibility but mine. When I feel that whatever it is, then I'm like, I need to do this, I need to do that. Whatever it is I need to do, then that's what I get to doing.
Hmm.
And that's, another part that accountability plays in healing. It's just like is nobody is really aware that something is going on with you unless you tell them. So if you
Hmm.
choose not to tell them, it's not anybody else's responsibility to help you get better. It's your own.
Exactly.
So, Allison, I'm gonna go ahead and let you chime in.
And just tagging on with what Ruby said, this is all part of you discovering what's going to help you heal. And that's one of the things I wanted to pull out. She specifically, or I'll specifically talk about the singing piece because that's also something that I do. I'll sing around the house. I would say that I would sing and while I was cleaning, but the the reality is if I start singing and cleaning, singing's gonna win. The the cleaning will just happen at a later date. But I do enjoy singing. I know that that is a gift that I have. I didn't do it a lot when I moved to Texas because, quite frankly, at that point, up until earlier this year, I didn't really have a whole lot to sing about. And so it just never, hit me. But once I started again, I can tell that my spirit missed that. I missed that connection. It is a release. But it's just like
Hmm.
what we're bringing up. What is going to help you find your release? I was a karaoke queen in North Carolina too. That brought me release. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going out. I met a lot of really good people who were also
Hmm.
karaoke regulars. I got to hear other life stories, other perspectives. And it was just nice being in the company of people who had a passion for at least one thing in my life that I had a passion for as well. And, I really did enjoy that. I even paid my rent, a couple of times. Doing karaoke.
Hmm.
Yes, I did. And so you have to know what is it that's going to help you. And the reason that I want to keep talking about this is because anyone who is watching that has an area that you need to be healed in, even if you don't say it to anybody else, if you know you have an area you need to be healed in, you also know what it will take for you to start finding a release. And the reason I know that is because that answer is going to lie in things that you used to do before whatever it is that hurt you happened. Whatever it is that
Mm-hmm.
hurt you before that thing or that person or that situation or that illness or that death or whatever it was, whatever you did prior to that is where you are going to get yourself back on track to healing. If you love doing it and you stopped, it's because that is the answer that you need. That was snatched from you. For whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
you felt that you either didn't want or didn't deserve to experience any real joy. So you stop doing the one thing that brought you joy. And I can promise you that that is the one thing that you should start doing that will get you back on track, that will get you towards your place of healing so that you can get back, like I said earlier, get back to that emotional ground zero so that you are 100% ready to tackle whatever else life wants to throw at you. So that's a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to what you love that you don't do anymore, and that's the thing that you need to pick up again.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Thank you, Ashley. Yes, I'm glad you're tuning in as well. Hey, Constance. Hey, Nina. Nina says she is a karaoke fanatic girl. Karaoke is life.
Hey,
Karaoke is life. Even when my voice went back, I was still trying to sing. I was singing some men's songs and I was a third alto, but I was
oh my
there.
God. Yes. It ain't nothing like being able to hit them very note, the very white notes when you can't hit the. Ooh, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm, my first, my last, my everything.
Like everything.
I was like, oh, I can hit them today.
Yes, girl. Look, the karaoke guy, girl, I be texting him like, look, I ain't got my voice today, but what we gonna do is this. If I can't hit them notes and I bring that mic away from my mouth,
Hey,
that's because ain't nothing coming
nothing
out.
coming out.
And I need you to back me up. And that's exactly what he be doing. Girl, when I couldn't hit them high notes, he was right
I
there.
know that's right.
I appreciate you.
Oh my God.
But yes, that was kind of, but that's the thing. Even when you find that thing that you love doing
Mm-hmm.
and it makes you so happy and it just brings you so much peace and so much joy,
Mm-hmm.
you will find a way to still get it done.
Yes, you will.
Some kind of, but thank you all for tuning in to Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison, and we are talking about accountability and healing. Um, the next thing that I wanted to kind of touch on is you also have to realize that with your healing journey, even though you're doing it for self, you're ultimately doing it for other people in a sense because when you become a better person,
Mm-hmm.
then you're able to offer the better version of you to other people in whatever ways or whatever capacity you're supposed to be. So if you're a mother, you're able to be a better mother.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a wife, you're able to be a better wife, a husband, whatever the case may be, you're able to be that 100% as opposed, like Allison said, if you're operating at 50%, then you're only giving half of who you are.
Yep.
Now, I mean, if I'm giving you 100% of me, I definitely don't want half of you
Okay.
because that's not how this works.
Not how this works. It's just not.
And if you can't give me 100, we ain't meant to be together. That's all I'm saying. But that is another part of that is another accountability piece. You have to realize that it is your responsibility to be the best version of you in order to be the best version of everything else that you have to be.
Yes.
And if you don't realize that, because some people look at self-care and self-love and self-everything as being selfish,
Mm,
and it's not.
not.
So that's not my narrative, that's not my story, and I'm not letting anybody push that on me.
Yes.
You might, but not me.
Mm-mm.
And trust me, I wake up peaceful and joyful every day. That's not to say life don't happen, but I'm not getting mad. I didn't get mad. I didn't get upset, and I didn't get depressed because I was sick.
Right.
I still got up and ate. I still got up and got cute and went to karaoke and was singing all them low notes, but I still had a good time. And honestly, when I go to karaoke, people enjoy listening to me sing.
Mhm.
I guess after you hear somebody mess up a song a few times, you glad to hear somebody who hitting a few notes right. But like I said, you have to understand that your healing is going to benefit other people in other ways.
Yes.
Nina says, "Why do I have a karaoke machine at home too? Because the karaoke kept canceling." Girl, you need to find you a new karaoke spot because
Do.
that guy was not consistent or that woman was not
Yeah,
consistent.
that's
But yeah, you got it. You
acceptable.
ultimately right have to break down. Like I have my own karaoke machine. And then my mama got a smart TV in the living room, so I can go to YouTube and pick whatever I like. Allison.
I don't even know where to start with this segment. Let me see. Okay, well, so I think what I'll say is this. When we talk about the fact that it is, your responsibility in terms of finding healing, I think that one of the things that I want to make sure you understand is we're simply talking about the healing process today. We're not talking about whatever led to you needing to be healed. We're not talking about whatever was
Mhm.
done that led to you needing healing. We're just talking about the simple fact of you've acknowledged that you need to be healed. Now what? And so
Mhm.
these are the things that we're talking about. And so, like Ruby said, the one thing that I'll pull out of what she just said was related to the fact that she wakes up happy and joyful, regardless of the fact that she didn't feel good. But she did mention that life happened. And so that's one of the first things that, I would bring up is you have to understand that being real and being realistic is also going to be part or should be part of your healing program, healing process. It's got to be part of it. I see a lot of
Mhm.
people on Facebook who make comments such as, and I won't just say Facebook, I'll say social media. I've seen it everywhere, where people will say, if you're negative, get off my page, positive vibes only. And it sounds good, but what you're basically saying to people in that instance is that you don't want real on your page. You're also promoting people holding in real feelings, holding in real pain, and holding in real anger. You're saying that you don't want to see that. And so I haven't done a study, but I would be surprised if a lot of the people who actually preach that and live it, I would be very surprised to not hear that they have a problem meeting real people, because that is a
Mhm.
mindset of judgment. You have to understand that if something did hurt you, the healing process does not mean that you figure out some way to say that you're over it as quickly as possible. The healing process, hear the word process at the end of it. Process does not mean one step. Process is about
Mhm.
however many steps you need to get over that thing. And as you're getting over it, those other feelings do have to come out. You will be angry. You will be sad. You will have questions. You will, hear me, have moments where you might be bitter and resentful. I'm never going to tell you not to be bitter or resentful. My thing is, don't stay there. I don't know
Mhm.
what happened to you, so there's no way for me to tell you that you shouldn't be bitter. I can tell you that staying there will hurt you, but you will have those moments. And so understand that as you are really searching for how to heal, that you are going to have moments where it may not look like you're healing. It may look like you're mad all the time, but you are healing. You may be crying every night, but you are healing. You may be angry at the
Mhm.
world, but you are healing. So even if you meditate or you go to karaoke, you may go to karaoke one night. Let's talk about this. You feel good, and then for whatever reason, you're on your way home and you just think about whoever hurt you and you just want to stab them in the neck. You don't want to kill them. You just want them to know that you're still there. That's still healing. Now, don't go do it. Now, if you go do it, that's another problem. That's a mental issue. But what I'm saying is, having thoughts like that and being able to acknowledge and release them, that's how you get rid of them. And that's how you get rid of the pain associated with them. So don't expect
Mm-hmm.
don't expect every encounter with the thing that helps you to always have you feeling that you're, peace and love and woosah and kumbaya. You may not. The healing thing, the things that are helping you heal are designed to do just that. Help you get to a point where you can acknowledge that anger without being destructive, where you can acknowledge that sadness without becoming depressed. That is what you want to start looking for. What allows me to be real in my process?
Yep. Thank you all for tuning in to Soul Therapy. I'm sorry, Soul Sunday. Reloaded. I just got all kind of soul stuff going on. But hey, watch that too this Sunday
Watch
at
that
noon
too. That's right. Watch that
Eastern.
too.
But Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison. But what I wanted to say was, oh, you have to realize also this is you being accountable. Is that on your healing journey, you gonna have some tests. And some of those tests are going to be easy, and some of those tests are going to be hard. They're going to
Very.
be there.
Yes.
So, you know what I said? There's levels to healing.
There are. There are.
When you start the healing process, when something happens and then you actively say, "Okay, I'm going to heal from this."
Mm-hmm.
Just think about, like I said, just different levels. So you're going through your healing process and then you finally make a breakthrough and you're like, okay, I've gotten beyond this point. You're not fully healed. You're just preparing yourself for the next level of healing that needs to take place. So then you get to that next level of healing and it's just like, okay, I've gotten through this. You're still not done. You're just being prepared for that next level of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much with the healing process, you're not going to heal everything at once. You have to heal to a certain degree that it prepares you for the next level of healing because each time you have to go deeper and deeper and deeper. You have mental, you have emotional, you have spiritual, you have physical, you have all these different parts of the healing process that has to take place. And guess what? There's levels to that too.
Are.
So healing is never gonna end. But what does happen is that it becomes easier. You begin to recognize your triggers. You begin to recognize and understand what works for you and under what situations or conditions that particular healing activity works. Like for me, if I'm liking somebody and they do something and it kind of hurts my feelings in a sense, then it's just like I can't go eat because then I'm not gonna be hungry. So it's pointless for me to go eat. But what I will do is go sing, or I may plan, I may organize, I may start a business, I may rebrand my business.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that I have to take that energy and transfer it into something
Mm-hmm.
else. But just knowing that, at this particular level, I'm able to create or whatever it is that I need to do. That's me being aware of what my triggers are, what works for me, what does not work for me, what I need to do, how I need to do it. So I'm not just stuck in that particular rut. I mean, like I said, you're always going to have tests, and pretty much the tests is your way of measuring your progress in a sense.
Yeah.
Because if you are working on healing and you're still responding to the same situation the same way, you're probably making little progress. Now, that's not to say that if someone passed in your family and you think about it and you cry, that you're not, working through the grieving process. You still are, but I know at this particular point, if you look at the way you cry, the way you think, the thoughts that you have, they by no means will compare to those thoughts and feelings and everything that you had at the very beginning or when it first happened. Now you get to the point where you are able to talk yourself through this episode. You're able to come to an understanding quicker, and you're able to get to your place of peace and joy and happiness quicker than you were in the
Mm-hmm.
past. So just, like I said, with being accountable, you have to know that you're going to have tests. It's not going to be easy. And You have to figure out your way of measuring your progress. I know some people don't like the healing process because they don't even know how to determine whether or not they're making
Yeah.
progress. Because it's not like, you could just put a thermometer in there and be like,
We're
hey,
done.
I did good. Right. You can't do that. Allison.
Yeah, Ruby is 100% right. I can tell you based off of my experience, and I will do a side note and say that this is not going to involve, this process is not going to involve you getting over the death of a loved one, because like Ruby said, you know you still crying because you miss them is not a sign that you're not healed. It's a sign that you miss them. And so you
Mm-hmm.
have to cut yourself some slack. The only thing that I can tell you where losing a loved one is that it never goes away, it just gets easier. And by easier, what I mean is not that you don't forget them, that you forget them, or that you all of a sudden don't miss them anymore. I'm saying that the memories don't bring you to tears anymore. I haven't had my father since 1997. I cried every day for a year and a half. I was angry for the next 3 years at everybody. So I can tell you now that I do still miss him. His presence is still missed. That has not gone away. That is still a hole, but now it is not a Grand Canyon emotional hole that would have destroyed me if I was still in that place 21 years later. But it is still there
Mm-hmm.
because he did exist. And because he did exist and he is no longer here, that is a spot in my life that is missing. So, having said that, the process that I have noticed when it comes to true healing is that you first go through the process of getting over what happened. You have to get over that
Mm-hmm.
part first, because that is usually where a lot of us get stuck in victim mode. When you're constantly saying, well, why did this happen, and I can't believe this happened, and why did she do this, and why did he do this, and I did everything I could for the business, why did it fail, why did I get laid off? That is the beginning stage of your healing process. You have to accept what has happened. The reason that you have to accept what has happened first is because typically the next stage of your healing is going to involve you seeing where you could have done differently. You will never see what you could have done differently if you're still in victim mode, because you'll feel that, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Either you've experienced it or you have a friend right now who does it. Anytime someone tries to even suggest that there's something that you could have done differently, you are still so raw from that pain and the pain of what was done, that you are ready to bite the head off of the person who suggests that somehow you caused yourself that pain. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't get to the point of seeing things objectively until you get past stage one, which is accepting what has happened. So, in terms of, let's say, as a business, first you have to accept that the business failed. You can't get to that until you get past the I can't believe I had to do this, and driving by the building and seeing another name on it, or seeing all the things that you bought that no one bought from you, or constantly having to take care of creditor calls, all these little things that keep reopening that wound. That stuff has to close first before you can ever get to a point of saying, did I pick the right location? Was I servicing the right
Mm-hmm.
demographic? Did I trust the wrong people? Did I really market like I think I did, or did I rely on social media too much? You'll
Mm-hmm.
never be able to ask those questions until you can get past the fact that the business failed. If it's a relationship, you're never going to be able to say, did I hold on too long? I know that he or she did me wrong, but did I give them too much patience? Did I do A, B, C, or D? You're never going to get there until you can accept that the relationship has ended. Now, once you get past that point, one way that you're probably close to being healed is that you now think about the other side of what happened, and now you can look back and not necessarily be okay with it, but now you don't have the same reaction. So if you see the guy or the
Mm-hmm.
girl who did you wrong, you're now not wanting to jump on them. Seeing them doesn't make you cry. Seeing them doing all these other things, it doesn't hurt you. Now you're just like, I really wish it had been different, but there's nothing I can do. And
Right.
that is the sign that you have moved forward. So if there is some of you out there who need to have, well, what does the process look like and how will I know? That's what I found. You got a 3-step process. Now that third process doesn't mean you're over it. It means you gotten through the worst of it. So that would be
Mm.
something to think about.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning
Yeah.
in to Soul Sunday Reloaded with Ruby and Allison. We appreciate you all watching. Hey, Tony. Hey, Lakeisha. Hey, Letitia. Letitia says you are so beautiful and a boss. I admire powerful women like you. Well, thank you, beautiful. We appreciate
Thank
it. We admire you too, girl. Keep doing your thing, girl.
you.
Let me stop. Excuse me. But we are now at the part of the show where we are going to ask the question of the episode.
Mhm.
Pretty much at this particular point, I ask a question from this game I bought. I read the question twice, and then Allison and myself are going to give our answers to the question. And if you like to chime in with your answer in the comments, please do.
Mhm.
We love engagement and everything, so we would like to know what you would do in this situation based on the question. So here is the question. What's the worst relationship mistake you've ever made?
Mm.
You know that accountability piece?
Ooh.
What's the worst relationship mistake you've ever made?
Hmm.
Okay, let me think. You know, when I been, it ain't never my fault. Now let me stop.
There you go.
um, I guess I could have been in my relationships. I could have been a little more lenient. Um, I am very protective of myself, and usually I I'm not gonna say it's either my way or the highway. It's just I'm really a stickler for boundaries and standards that I've set for myself. And I know in some situations I could have been a little more lenient in that, and that probably would have kept the relationship going, and some things would have improved. But in some cases, I can be very adamant about what I feel I deserve and what I feel I need in a relationship.
Hmm.
I'm not saying just to completely shatter the standards and the boundaries, but we do have to be flexible in some of those areas. I mean, it's not like, okay, I need a 10. He has to be the greatest cook ever, and I have to rate him a 10. But then if I decide to rate him a 9,
Hmm.
it's just like, come on now.
Hmm.
Come on now. You still eating. But, and you know what? I really wouldn't even call that a mistake. I would just call it a lesson that I learned.
Hmm.
Or, something like that. Because it's just like, I really don't say mistake, but it's something that I just learned. It was a lesson that I learned.
Hmm.
Now, that's not to say that, we had a bad breakup or anything like that. No, we're still great friends. I still have open doors of communication with any of my exes if, they ever decided to reach out. But, I just know that that's something that I could be a little bit more lenient.
Hmm.
So I'll say that.
Hmm.
Allison.
Well, I don't know if mine was a lesson or mistake. I feel like it was a mistake, but after listening to you, maybe it was just a lesson. Um,
Mhm.
I have made the mistake, or no, it was a mistake. I'll just say it that way. I made the mistake of falling in love with one man, and after a certain period of time, he was no longer that man, but I
Mhm.
still held on to him because he looked like the man that I fell in love with. And I felt that I would never have it again because it took so long to finally find it. And
Mhm.
so
Okay.
in my head, it was, well, this is the happiest I've been in a relationship. It's got to work. It's got to work. It's got to work. Instead of just
Mm-hmm.
accepting that it was not my fault that the person had changed, but it was my fault for not acknowledging that they had changed. Because acknowledging
Right.
that meant that I had to walk away from the same person that made me happier than anybody had in quite some time. And so the lesson that I
Mm-hmm.
learned is that even if it does hurt, if someone is not who they were, it's not your job to try to make them who they were. It's your job to accept them as they are and to simply decide if that's who you can deal with or not. And sometimes it sucks, but you have to go ahead and accept the answer and follow through with it.
And there you go. So again, that question was, what's the worst relationship mistake you've ever made?
Mm.
I ain't talking about what you blame somebody else for. That is not what we're talking about here.
Nope.
But Allison, not Sunday. We're gonna talk about something else on Sunday. But next Tuesday, I think what we should do is do a whole hour on answering a series of these
Oh, I
questions
like
in this
that.
box.
Yes.
Now, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all a disclaimer. Anything in this box can range from relationships to personal to sex to some of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So don't come on here next Tuesday talking about. We gonna be talking about a lot of different stuff. I'll be sure to pull out some cards that cover a range of topics. So it's just a getting to know Ruby and Allison a little better. I know both of us have quite a new, quite a few new friends and whatnot on our timelines, and some of you don't know us, but yeah, y'all gonna get to know us a lot better, next Tuesday, not Sunday, but
I'm
Tuesday,
ready.
7 p.m. Eastern,
Yes.
6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's gonna be a juicy show because y'all gonna be all up in our business. Nina says staying in a relationship based on someone's potential versus their reality. Girl, yes, girl. And we all have done that.
And hopefully we
We
don't
know we
ever do
should have
it
been left.
again.
We know we should have been gone. But now y'all know, of course, I work with, I started Soul Therapy Radio, which we have a show this Sunday at noon. I'm gonna throw that back out there
Shout
again.
out to Tara.
But yeah, shout out to Sis Tara. Hey boo, she will be on
Yeah.
Sunday with us. And then, we will have Soul Sunday after that with myself and Allison.
Mhm.
But in doing so, one of our product sponsors is Onay Naturals. It is a hair care and skincare company, which she sent me some products, and I did tell her that I was doing a giveaway.
Huh?
So tonight we are going to be giving this full size shampoo away.
Ooh,
It is the Tea Tree Minty Shampoo.
that's my favorite. Ooh,
It,
tea tree. Oh,
girl,
yes.
it removes impurities, contains natural tea tree oil and peppermint oil, and it soothes the scalp.
Mm,
I love anything that's
me too.
peppermint. I love anything that's tingly on the
Me
scalp.
too. Mm-hmm.
And I will be giving away this full size shampoo to someone that is watching tonight. So pretty much, I'm trying to think. Should I do just anybody? Nope. Y'all gotta share my video. So what y'all have to do is just share the video, and comment one reason or one thing we talked about in the video, and and sharing.
Yes.
And then out of those that have shared and also commented one thing that they watched about the video or that they got from the video, tag me and Allison
Yeah.
so we know you actually sharing it. If you sharing it and we don't know, you don't count.
Mm-mm.
Follow the
Yeah.
instructions. No, I'm playing. Follow the instructions. But this is a full size bottle, and y'all, it smelled good. I've just been look. I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been using. She sent me several products, so I'll be doing some more giveaways. But this right here is the Miracle Biotin hair oil, and I have been using this on my scalp. Trust me, when I finish this live, I'm finna, oil this. But this smells so good, and it has a minty scent to it. So I'm gonna let y'all know about my growth journey because I have, a few spots here. I got edges. I got edges, as y'all can see. I got all my edges. But in these little two areas right here, they're not stress spots or anything. I don't know. It just doesn't grow as long here in this area and then right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got edges, y'all can see they gray, but they there. They there. But I'm using this oil and I'm gonna let y'all, keep y'all posted on that progress. But like just holding a bottle, it smells so good. But if you want to win this particular bottle of shampoo, just share the video, comment one thing that you got from the video, and tag me and Allison. That's it. That's not a lot. It's just a way for us to support a small business, a way for us to, spread the word about this video because I'm sure somebody can use it
Yep.
other than just you.
Yep.
So we really appreciate it. The next show is going to be Sunday, Soul Sunday, regular time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Y'all just have to tune in because I'm sure we are supposed to talk about something else today, but today I was just like, you know what? This is what I want to talk about. Allison, you want to talk about this? And that's how we got to talking about what we talking about. Ashley says, not holding on to some of my boundaries I set in the beginning. See, Ashley did the
Oh.
opposite that I did. If you set those boundaries and those standards, you got to stick to them. You have got to stick to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a mistake that we learned in the past. So I know Ashley sticking to them boundaries,
Yeah.
something serious right now. But thank you, sis. We appreciate you chiming in. Thank you, Nina. Um, if you all can, if you want to follow me or visit my website, you can go to the www.thegoddessgrind.com and you can purchase both of my books. You can follow me on Instagram at Ruby the Artistry. You can also follow us on Instagram at soul_therapy_radio. Um, you can find me on YouTube just by searching Ruby Davidson if you want to watch past episodes of Soul Sunday. Um, if you want to schedule a mini chakra consultation, a root chakra consultation, or a full chakra consultation, reach out to me. I do have limited availability daily because that's a lot of energy that's being transferred. That's a lot. Um, if you want to enroll in my Art of Effective Communication workshop, I got all kind of stuff that I do. So just reach out to me. Allison.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Please feel free to connect with me on Facebook under Allison Denise, and my two new pages, Allison Denise, aka the Petite Powerhouse, and 501c3 nonprofit, the HGL Group. You can reach out to me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter under Miss MS Allison Denise. You can also find me on www.allisondenise.com. Go there and check out the different areas that I'm able to both speak and do coaching in. And I'm also proudly 1/5 of the Bad Squad Radio Show. We've been nominated for 4 awards. 4 awards our first year together. Very, very excited about that. You can tune into us every Friday, 9 to 11 Central, 10 to midnight Eastern on Fishbowl Radio Network. And don't forget, you can catch me solo Monday through Thursday. Start time is between 9:30 and 9:45 as I talk about a different topic related to relationships. So yes, you will see me again this evening. I think that's it. If it's not, it's enough.
It is because it's after 8 o'clock,
Okay.
but it's okay. It's okay because we kind of started late because Facebook was acting up as
As
usual.
usual.
But it's okay. But like I said, tune in this Sunday for Soul Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. But before then, make sure you join me at noon Eastern Standard Time for Soul Therapy with myself and Tara. And we will be talking about toxic parents versus absent parents.
Mm.
So we look forward to seeing you then. Until next time, bye bye.